Welcome, everybody, back to the podcast. I'm Draedle. This is James.
No, I'm Draedle.
Oh.
You're Stan.
Oh.
And where did James go? To Chick-fil-A.
Yep. Where did Stan? No, where's actually Stan this time?
It's actually very tragic. He was part of the Armenian genocide.
Oh no.
Rest in peace, Samuel.
Rest in peace, Sam.
Staniel.
Oh, that's so sad.
It's actually so sad.
I thought it was the Rwandan genocide, not the Armenian genocide that he was a part of.
No. You have it all wrong.
Oh.
He actually left with wicked twisters at Cedar Point.
Oh. That's so sad.
What's the point?
Cedar.
What's the initials for Cedar Point?
CP. ICP, Insane Clown Posse. Welcome back, everybody. Today we're talking about a very important subject. The presidential debate. If we can call it a debate.
Business.
To defeat the Hans. Prince Hans, Elsa, Frozen. Huh?
Huzzah! Anyways, let's talk politics.
Yeah, let's talk politics today. So, for reference, this is politics from a bunch of teenagers, 2 of them to be precise. I'm an adult. I'm old enough to vote this year. He's not. But this is our point of view on, well, it's going to kind of be our point of view. Are your feet ticklish?
No.
On the presidential debate that occurred on June. No, when was it?
June.
No, it's June 1st today.
Today's July 1st.
Oh, June 25th? The first presidential debate in 2024. Did you watch any of it? Did you watch any of it?
I watched half of it, and then I got bored, and then went to go play a game on Roblox.
I think the second half was better than the first half. It was like CNN took, it's like they were writing, like, an SNL comedy sketch, except it was, like, actually real people who are going to be running our country.
And will dictate over 300 million people.
Yeah. Yep. They will preside over all of them and write laws and, start wars and stuff. They'll start wars. The 2 candidates we have so far they'll either start it or they'll be the cause of one. Or they'll die.
I hope.
You hope. Yeah,
Let time do its thing.
our country's kind of
In shambles.
in shambles. It's like there's a seam, like a zipper, okay? And back when, even you showed me today, the Obama and Hayward, what was his name?
I don't.
Anyway.
The 2012 Republican candidate.
Yeah, the 2012 election. They were polite to each other. They commented on each other. It was like the zipper was zipped up, We have the Republican side and the Democratic. Here, I'll demonstrate on Jacob. So he's got a button up, and we've got the Republican side. We got Republican and we got Democrat, okay?
Okay.
And back then it was like this, okay?
Okay, we're not gonna.
Okay, so pretty much imagine a zipped up jacket, okay? This is my portrayal of the current crisis, the current
2016. It started in 2016.
It started in 2016 with Trump.
Trump's the issue.
They're both the issue.
Okay, well,
Trump's the issue. Biden thought he could fix the problem, but he spent 4 years trying to deal with Trump's problems, and now they're both causing problems again. That's how it's happening. So there's zipper. It's zipped up. Obama's president. Zipper is zipped up. We're perfect. Trump shows up. Zipper goes down a little bit, okay? A little bit. Then Trump's reign over the country. It's down about halfway.
It's down halfway.
Yeah.
And then Biden's just.
Biden brought it down more, and now it's like they unzipped the jacket, took it off, threw it into a fireplace, took the ashes, and took them to another incinerator, and then dumped them in the Pacific Ocean. And now they're making a great garbage
fish are
patch.
eating it.
Yeah, it's part of the garbage patch now. That's pretty much our country's political standings.
It's a good analogy.
Yeah, it's actually quite. It's like you took a fish and you're getting ready to cook it. And so you know how when it was swimming, it was Obama's presidency. You pull it out of the water, Trump's there, and then Biden comes up. You're like, well, let me knock this fish out because you want to eat it. So you bonk it in the head with a stick. And now it's like, well, I've cut it in half and gutted it and filleted it and cooked it, and then I've eaten it, and now it's coming out the other end, down the drain, into the sewage plant, and back into our drinking water. That's...
Apparently the plant didn't do a good enough job. And our lead pipes.
What is he? Yeah, the lead pipes. We're gonna fix the lead pipe. We don't have a big lead. I don't think. Don't fact check us on this, but I'm pretty sure most things that were lead
are no longer
lead.
After they figured out that it kills.
That lead is like paint and pipes and
deadly.
Everything. Yeah, lead is deadly. It's like asbestos. There's no longer asbestos in new buildings anyway.
Cancer.
Because it's cancer. Just like James.
I'm Draedle though.
Oh.
You're Stan.
Stan died in the genocide.
You're just James. I'm Jesse. I'm James.
You're Jesse. Yeah, so let's go back to the golf match conversation. I mean the presidential debate. Sorry.
I mean, hey, Biden can hit a 6-par.
No, he can't even hit it 50 yards.
No, he can hit a 6-par.
No, the dude who was 6'5" and 230 pounds.
235, I think.
235 pounds, yeah. He said he was 6'4" and 200, but he's not. We all know that.
We should act like we're the other candidates.
Like we're the other candidates.
We should act like. Okay, hold on. Let me.
So.
Gotta recede my hairline a little bit.
Which one are you? Who are you?
Biden. I'll be Biden.
You're Biden. Okay. We Trump.
You're Trump.
You ready for this sketch? Y'all aren't ready for this.
You aren't ready for this. You guys are you're Frank, whatever his name was.
Frank.
What's the person's name?
There were two of them that were doing it.
Yeah. Well, here.
I don't know.
Let's walk in.
You guys are Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, you're Nancy Pelosi.
Okay.
I walked in first.
Yep. No, you didn't do it right. He walked in and
Hey, folks.
Yeah, he walked in and he said, hey folks, how's it going? And then I walk in. Can't do his face, man.
And then
This guy is the pain of our country. He's letting all the immigrants, they're taking everyone's jobs. All the immigrants.
He's taking all of our
That wall that we were gonna build back in my presidency.
You're out of time, sir. You're out of time.
We're gonna build it again. We're gonna build
it. Anyways, this man is a liar. Don't give a word to what he says. I, on the other hand, I'm a superhero. And I put lead in your pipes, so you fall under my command.
So you're out of time. You're out of time. You're out of time. Anyways, this man's son is a felon. I'm not a felon.
Sorry.
He rigged it. I'm not a felon. This man's son is the only person on stage who's a felon.
Please, on with the topic, please. What is wrong with the United States economy in today's world?
Well, the immigrants are taking our jobs, and we need to build a wall. I can hit a golf ball farther than he can. By the way, also his son is a bad person, and he's a felon.
I hope you know I can hit a 6-par. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
This guy's handicapped. The golf conversation was the best part of the entire thing.
And I hope you know I would gladly beat you in a game of golf.
I would gladly put you.
And
The fentanyl crisis.
Fentanyl crisis.
2016 was a great year.
The great year.
And we love. I want to go to Jupiter. I want to rain diamonds. Diamond rings are cool.
I went on the asteroid belt.
Yeah.
My W key.
Obscure reference that only 2 other people will get in the whole world. They might not even get it, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. That was it.
That was
And then
the
RFK was like, "We have come to an understanding of our people where we were at the crisis of our lives."
no, but he actually talked.
No, he actually said
He's
what he was
actually-
supposed to do.
yeah.
So, good job.
I like. So you didn't. So during the debate, RFK streamed it
To 11 million
to
people.
11 million. 11 million people watched his stream
Went out of their way to watch history
Yeah.
instead of the actual.
instead of the actual one. Or they could have. He could have been watching both at the same time, but it was behind. Like I think at like 10:30, it was at the 10 o'clock part on the CNN because he was saying his thing. So what they would do is they would take what Biden said or Trump, whoever's first, and then what Trump said, and then they'd pause it, ask the same question to RFK Jr., and then he would say his answer. And so these two like Nimrods are arguing about golf, and then RFK actually answers the question. But he was like laughing at them while they were talking too. Like they put his face up on the screen and he was just like, he wasn't like hysterically laughing, but he was just like chuckling, you know? Because like both of these candidates, like Trump said, the only reason he's running, he said he could be at any of his many properties, any of his many very nice properties right now, but instead he's running against Biden again because Biden's doing a bad job running the country. That was what Trump said. Are you getting a water bottle?
That hurt my throat doing the Robert Kennedy voice.
Yeah. And then RFK actually like answers the questions, which is good. But we need to get him on a debate stage. Because I'm voting this year. Currently I think my vote, if Ohio has him on the ballot,
They will.
which they will. They have to.
No,
There's
they
way.
legally have to.
Yeah.
It's not like Civil War era where like
Well, no, but the problem is there's government agencies that are suing state governments to keep them off ballots, to keep RFK off ballots.
I don't think they can.
They
legally do
can,
that.
because half of the news headings, when you look it up, half of the news headings are that.
We have a right to
They're
run
being
for
sued.
president.
Yeah, you do. But because our nation is so divided between Democrat and Republican, they have to keep it that way.
Democrat.
So-
We have the right to run independent. So I don't know why.
Yeah, I
how
don't
they
know.
would win that court.
Let's see.
Course.
Keep talking.
Because like Andrew Yang was a widely known independent. That man. Sorry, I'm looking at what you're doing on your phone.
Yeah, it's currently Cedar Point. Democrats and their allies sue to keep RFK Jr. off the ballot in several states. RFK Jr. faces
Well, can't you
lawsuit
vote
trying to
online?
ban him from New Jersey ballot. Nevada Democrat sues to kick RFK Jr. off presidential ballot. Democrats sue RFK Jr. over Nevada presidential bid. Democrats are trying to stop RFK Jr. from appearing on the ballot. Yeah. RFK sued in New York over ballot access. So there's literally states.
Corruption.
Yeah, our government is becoming corrupt because there's a problem, and that is that
He's
the
independent.
third party candidate, the independent candidate,
Has never won.
has never won. They don't plan on them winning, and yet he's going to.
If it wins,
He should win.
if he wins, then the two-party system will lose.
Yeah,
And that
and is what our government is based on.
means those systems will fall apart and will no longer exist.
Right, because it'll prove that we don't need it.
We don't need it to actually have a presidency.
Yeah, and RFK Jr. was running Democrat. He was running Democrat against Biden, but Biden won over RFK. Because Biden's the current president, he's got more people who want him versus a new guy. And now they're trying to get him off the ballot because he's incompetent.
Just saying, how did Hillary win over Bernie Sanders?
I don't know. Because she was a female.
Maybe.
And people wanted that change because Obama was the first African American president. So they wanted a female president. Let's get a first of everything.
I think it was because
Now let's get a first independent one.
I think it was because Bernie's too extreme.
It could be that too.
Because
You want to be kind of middle ground.
he's very left. Very left.
But that's the problem with the current candidates. Biden's not super extreme, is he?
No.
Trump's extreme. No?
He's more right leaning than RFK, and RFK's right leaning. And
RFK is Democratic. RFK is left.
he's in some things.
RFK ran Democrat.
He switched though, because he used to be right leaning a long time ago.
Oh, and then he decided to run
and then he
Democrat.
switched.
Okay. So yeah, that affirms that he's more middle ground.
He's like
which makes more sense for an independent candidate, I guess.
he's a lot more central than the other two though.
Yeah. But
But
nah.
I hate how Biden's excuse is like he was the youngest ever like Senate
Yeah, he said he was the youngest senator, and now he's the oldest president, I'm assuming.
I'm guessing oldest in political office.
Yeah, because he's old. He's really old. He's 82. He'll be 86 at the end of his term if he wins. Trump will be 82 at the end of his term if he wins.
Yeah, bunch of old people.
Yeah, even RFK.
They should make it so
RFK's old.
like
RFK's 70.
they should make it so like
But he's competent.
yeah, they should make it like you can't run if you're over like
65. Really?
say 75
No.
or over like
I feel like the range for presidency should be 35 to 65. 30-year window that you can be president. Because after that, not only that, after 65, you should be required to take a driver's test again.
I'd say later.
Later? There's people who come in to my work that should not be driving that are like 60. If you pass it, then you're fine. It should be every 5 years after that.
I think you should retake the driver's test every 10 years.
Yeah, that would be good too. Like, or when you have to renew your license, you have to retake at least the written portion, maybe not the driving portion.
I also think they should make speeding tickets more expensive.
Yeah.
Just so highways aren't scary.
Well, no, speeding tickets shouldn't be more expensive. They should be a percentage of, like Sweden. They should be a percentage of the person's annual income, or even monthly income.
More
I
people
don't
would
know how to
speed
do it.
then. Well,
Well, not in particular, because it would be, instead of it just being, it's like $125 for a low fine, something like that. Instead of it being $125 for someone who only has $125 and $125 for someone who has $2 billion, it should be $125 for someone who makes $3,000 a year and $2 million for someone who makes $40 billion a year.
they should.
It should be a percentage because
make-
then that would make everyone equally as worried about doing it. And if you throw your money away, then you're going to speed and then you're going to throw your money away and then you're going to feel bad because you just gave $2 million to the police department.
They should add speeding to endangerment to like a public area.
Yeah, because it's already reckless
Already
driving.
reckless driving.
So if you're in a city and you're speeding, that's different than a highway though. If you're speeding in a town or a city, then it should be like endangerment in public areas or something like that. If you're on a highway in the country, it shouldn't be. It should just be endangerment and reckless driving, I would think.
Don't you get points on your license
Yeah, you get points too.
for speeding?
Yeah. And that's where they get the whole, it's like an even consequence. If you ignore the fact that you have to pay an unfair amount,
Well, put it like this: how often do you speed on the highway and get pulled over?
not often.
Like never.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I've only been pulled over once, and I've been driving for 2.5 years. And I drive the speed limit.
Wink, wink.
But yeah, it should be, because it's not, cops aren't out to pull you over if you're only going 10 over the speed limit on a highway,
It's like 20.
because they're waiting for people to be going 50 over. So they're not going to waste their time, their effort, and like, you know, the money for maintenance on the vehicle if you're going to run or endangerment of other people if you're going to run, plus pulling you over endangers the officer on the side of the highway and you on the side of the highway. So it's better if they just don't chase someone they don't necessarily need to chase. If they do need to get you because you're flying down the highway, then they will. Or if your like trunk is open and nothing's fastened down on the highway.
Yeah.
That's endangering someone. It's the same as like tinted windows. Like Olivia was talking yesterday, our friend Olivia wants her windows to be tinted, but she doesn't want them. She wants them to be darker than the legal limit in Ohio, which is 50% light, which is like nothing. But the problem is her uncle, I think it is worried because then that's an illegal amount of tint and they're going to get pulled over, but you're not going to get pulled over for having limo tint on your car. If you get pulled over for speeding and they see that your windows are tinted, or if they're trying to get you on a traffic camera for doing something wrong and they can't get into your car to see you, those are the two times that they're going to stop you, because they're going to be like, they're going to pull you over for speeding and they're going to be like, by the way, what's your window tint? They're not going to pull you over and be like, sir, you were driving the speed limit and obeying every rule and every law, but I could not see your eyes. They're not going to do that.
Yeah.
And with the back windows, it can be as dark as you want them to be still.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was like...
It's front two and the windshield have a limit of 50%. Not even the A-pillar window, that tiny window that some cars have their mirrors attached to a plastic bit. Other cars have a triangular window in the front. That can be as dark as you want. Back windows can literally be wrapped in plastic. Can't see through any of them. The Cybertruck, the Tesla Cybertruck, when the tonneau cover's closed over the bed, you can't see out of the back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the window's inside and that's opaque. So it's just like covering your window in a sheet of plywood.
Did you see with the Cybertruck? There's a contract that you have to sign before purchasing one. And if you break it, you have to pay Tesla a certain amount of money.
It's like $50,000, plus you're not allowed to buy another Tesla from a Tesla dealership. You have to own the car for a year.
And
That's what it is.
There was a dude who got like divorced.
Oh yeah, I read that too.
Yeah, there was a dude that got a divorce right after he bought one, so he sold it to get money.
No, he pre-ordered the Tesla. While it was being pre-ordered, he got in a divorce. So he moved out, they split off, moved out, he lived in an apartment with one parking spot, and it's a decently small parking spot, like a normal sized parking spot. And then the Cybertruck got shipped. The Cybertrucks got pushed out. It didn't fit in his parking spot. So he wanted to try and sell it, get it back, give it back to the dealership or something, but he signed that contract when he first pre-ordered it in, I believe, 2019 is when they took pre-orders. And that was back when he was able to have one, and now he can't. And so they're trying to get him with breach of contract. They're going to like sue him $50,000, take his car, and he's not allowed to buy another Tesla ever from a Tesla dealership if he goes through with selling it. And there's a few people that are, because on the Cybertruck alone, Tesla has issued 4 recalls. I think 2 of which they've recalled every Cybertruck, all 12,000 or so that are on the road. They actually just issued a recall. It was within the past few weeks. It might have even been within the past
I've seen 2.
week. They had 1 for a software problem, 2 for software problems. They had 1 where the gas pedal would get stuck under a trim piece that was not fastened very well. And it would pedal to the metal, wouldn't stop. You couldn't stop the car unless you turned it off. So that's a 7-ton brick of stainless steel flying at you with sharp edges.
It's that
You
heavy.
can't stop it. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's 7 tons. It also, did I tell you it doesn't pass safety tests
Really?
in the UK? So you can't sell it in the UK because they have a pedestrian safety test, and pretty much when it gets tested, the edges are so sharp that it like will gore you if you get hit at 20 miles an hour.
Oh my God.
As a pedestrian, you'll die if you get hit by the corner. The edges are sharp enough that you can peel vegetables on them.
Oh my God.
But yeah, they issued a 3rd and 4th recall recently. It was at least within the past month, I'm pretty sure. There was another software problem, and there was a piece on the back next to the bed cover that on some of the trucks was not fastened properly, and it would fly off at highway speeds on the highway, and it could hit other cars. And they found out about it because they were taking a shipment of Cybertrucks to somewhere, I believe in LA, and there were a few on a trailer. And when they got there, one of them was missing a plastic piece on the back that was put on the truck. And they found it on the highway. They found out that it flew off on the highway on a brand new truck. So they recalled all over 12,000 of them again for a third and fourth recall to refasten that and to fix the software problem that they were having. They're so dumb.
They're so expensive too.
They're expensive. They're going to be some of the highest depreciating vehicles ever. Because the Tesla Model S Plaid, do you know what that is? It's their Tesla Model S. It's like the super duper fast one. And they used to cost, I think, 120 grand. Now you can get a used one for like 35. And they came out like 2 years ago. Like electric cars are the most depreciating asset you can possibly buy at the moment. Like, especially with the Cybertruck, it's a gimmick. It's gimmicky, right? Once you see more than one on the road a day, you're going to think they're the dumbest thing ever. They're annoying. You can't see through them. You can't see past them because they're massive. And if you get hit by one, the truck is fine and you're gone. You're dead. Your car's gone. You're gone because it's a giant brick of metal. And it has no steering column. It's powered by Bluetooth steering, literally, on all four wheels. The steering wheel only turns 90 degrees for a full steering angle.
Really?
Yeah, where I think mine is like 745 or something. You keep turning it and turning it. Cybertruck, that's all you get. And there's steer by wire, which is used in airplanes. So it's not a new concept, but it's a newer concept in cars because it's basically, it's Bluetooth. You steer, there's nothing connecting the steering wheel to your wheels. So they just kind of go. The vehicle doesn't even really have crumple zones. So you hit a wall, it just crushes and then just stops because it's a brick of steel.
Yeah.
With bulletproof windows.
Think about like the whiplash you get.
Yeah. It would be...
Because like think about it, like awful. A car is just like meant to...
Cars are meant to crumple when they crash.
So it's like it absorbs the impact.
Right.
That's just going to go like instantly.
Yeah.
Just go
You're going
to...
Instead of like your car hitting it and going like this and crumpling, it just goes... Well, it kind of goes like...
It'd probably go...
It bends a little bit.
It'd probably do this, like, and just go straight through the car.
Yeah. Yeah, at that point, it's going through a wall. Going through whatever you hit instead of crumpling.
Has there been any car accidents with them yet?
There's been a couple.
Have they been lethal?
I don't think there's been any lethal ones yet. But there's been some that are, like, pretty bad. There's also been some... There was one dude... He had a Cybertruck and he parked it in a loading bay at his warehouse, and a semi-truck backed into it, and it was all over the internet. And they're like, look at the Cybertruck. This guy better buy him a new Cybertruck. It's so expensive, brand new. Why would you park it in a loading bay?
Yeah.
Like, it's like you don't want it, and you wanted the guy to hit it, and you wanted to get the internet publicity of being one of the first Cybertrucks to be totaled. Are there any accidents? Do you find any? I know I saw one. I saw like the aftermath of one. Where like the truck looked fine and the other car was gone, was destroyed off the side of the road in like a mountain pass or something.
I'm reading.
Okay. But they also don't really have good safety features. So like the front trunk automatically closes. But it doesn't have good enough sensors to sense when there's something in the way of it, so it just closes through them. So it'll split carrots in half. I watched someone split an aluminum water bottle in half with it. I think it was Throttle House. They split an aluminum water bottle in half with it, pretty much. It's just so...
Yeah, I'm looking at pictures of it.
It's so... And it's ugly.
Very ugly.
Oh, no, the fourth recall was because the windshield wiper motor that drove the giant windshield wiper would fry. Because the windshield wiper was... I think it's because the windshield wiper is so big and heavy. that the motor would literally fry itself because it couldn't take the strain of it. That's what the other recall was for. But they also have a problem where water goes down into the catch. Yeah, that's the one that I saw.
Apparently one crashed into the Beverly Hills Hotel sign.
Really? Mm-hmm. I think that was when they had the pedal pin problem. Because I saw pictures of them, like, all over the place hitting stuff. Whenever the gas pedal would get pinned to the ground under the trim piece.
Yeah.
But they're massive, they're ugly. They're not very well designed. They look like a child's drawing mixed with a dishwasher refrigerator.
It's an attempt to make things look futuristic.
Yeah, that's what it is. It was Elon Musk's dream to have something that looked sort of futuristic and fancy. Have the comforts of the future. Have self-driving, which, yeah, it does. And all that stuff. But he executed it so incredibly poorly. And he pushed it out way too fast. It's like my car. Way too ahead of its time. But to a bad point. Not mine's German, they do that. But this one is to a point that it's just like time. Bad. Yeah.
Were the Germans ahead of their time in the 1940s?
In the 1940s. Jacob. Oh, I don't know if you can say that. But
freedom of speech.
Yeah, we're American. Yeah, I don't know. Cybertrucks are dumb. Just like the presidential race this year.
Everything's dumb.
Everything. It's all dumb.
It's a stupid year for stupid people.
Yes.
Except that earthquake that happened in Japan. That was not stupid.
Yeah, wasn't there like a landslide too?
On January 1st it happened.
Yeah.
Also brain rot.
Tragic happened on January 31st as well.
That's when everything went to shit.
Yeah, that's when I totaled my truck.
The brain rot.
Brain rot. Well, we've always had brain. SpongeBob was our brain rot. SpongeBob Adventure
SpongeBob was like
Gumball.
funny.
Yeah, but that's what the kids now think, is that their brain rot is funny. We see it as brain rot.
There's a survey done that like
before.
It's actually rotting children's brains.
Oh, I'm sure it is, because it's just that dumb. This is brain rot.
Is it?
I don't know. We were planning on making this solely political, and then we talked about the Cybertruck. I think for a second podcast. I think we've talked about it before.
Have we?
I think so. Maybe not. Maybe I talked about it with Jonah or my dad or something. I don't know. Yeah, it's back to the politics. We need RFK to win. We need him to get on a ballot. I need to hear him talk on the same floor as Trump and Biden. I need them to all be on the same floor, all talking. I need them to all communicate with each other, hear how he reacts in person to what Trump and Biden are saying, and how they react back to what he's saying. And there needs to be a live audience in the background who can also react. That's what we need. And it needs to be televised, it needs to be televised on like BBC or something, on some news platform that does not swing either direction. PBS, I don't think does. BBC doesn't.
CNN is Democrat.
CNN is Democratic.
Fox is Republican.
Yeah. It's so funny though that CNN is Democratic and yet Biden made them look
terrible.
But then Trump didn't make them look any better. Because Trump didn't answer. I don't know if he answered any of the questions. It took him about like.
He answered the January 6th question.
Yeah, but he said
crisis.
Yeah.
The war in Ukraine. The golf question.
The golf question. That was part of the physical fitness part.
Yeah.
So I guess
so he kind of answered it.
Yeah.
But then Joe Biden kind of stretched it.
Yeah, and then they kind of got in a little battle. I don't know. Trump, even like the last thing where they were like, will you accept this election no matter what? It took him about 4 reroutes to answer the question. And he was like, if it's fair and legal, he talked about how the election was rigged when Biden won. which has
Led the January 6th.
repeatedly
And recounted.
been proven false that it was not rigged. Trump was just that bad. And still can't accept that. That's when he went to shit. And now it's just all spiraling.
Well, what's gonna happen?
Now he's back.
Okay. Who will you vote for if RFK is not on the ballot?
Nobody. I won't vote.
That's understandable. I would probably just vote for someone who isn't Trump or Biden that'd be on there.
Well, if there's someone, I guess, yeah, any independent. Because I know technically, blah, 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 voting independent, just throwing away your vote. Unless it's for RFK, because he's actually got a chance. But anyone else, it's just throwing away your vote. If you vote for Trump or Biden, you're throwing away your vote. Because neither of them have good ideas. Neither of them are young enough. Neither of them are fit or suited to take power over our country. Or to keep power over our country if you're going for Biden.
Look at every leader in our country before them. Notice how they weren't stupid in some degree.
Yeah. They didn't fight with the other party.
Yes, they did.
Well, they did, but not like this. It's never been like this.
Like, think of like the Nixon administration or the Reagan administration. Well, who committed Watergate? Was that Nixon?
I think so, yeah. I think Nixon with Watergate.
Besides Watergate scandal, like, they were doing things. Who had the speech that was like, "Dear Mr. Gorbachev, tear the Berlin Wall down"? Is that Ronald Reagan? I think that was Ronald Reagan.
I think it was Reagan. You know more about all of it than I do.
Yeah, but like, literally, even like founding fathers like Thomas Jefferson and stuff like that. All these people had like very well constructed ideas and stuff and weren't dementiated.
Yeah. They had plans. They put those plans into action. And they got things done. And all the two candidates now are doing is arguing with each other, calling each other names, saying they're going to change something, even though they've already both proven that they're not going to. They're saying they're going to change the same things.
You know what the greatest time was to live in the United States?
During the Native Americans before the 13 colonies.
No. Guess what?
When?
1800 through 1812.
1800 through 1812.
It was when Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, and Andrew Jackson, when those three were in office. That was peak.
That was peak? Were you there? Did you know?
No, but that was like historically peak. And George Washington.
Yeah.
I mean, George Washington was like...
he was the goat.
He had the 100%. He was the 100% popular vote.
Yeah.
That
was the guy.
Never again will we have a man like that.
No.
Except Markiplier.
Except Markiplier. Yeah, people like the two candidates need to be RFK Jr. and Markiplier.
I'd vote for Markiplier.
I'd vote for Markiplier. It's like when Kanye ran.
I'm not voting for Kanye. That man's like, I'm off the meds. This is the real me.
Go back on the meds, please.
I don't want the real him.
Yeah, bring the old Kanye back before he was racist.
Bring the
and anti-Semitic.
Bring the medicated Kanye back.
Yes, please. No, but and Trump just was spewing lies the entire time.
So was Biden, though.
They both were, but Trump was worse. I've seen news articles where they've just talked about every lie that Trump stated and then proven them all wrong.
It's
like when he said, like, when he was in office, America had the best economy that it had ever had. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Absolutely not.
I mean, post 2008, we've gone shit.
Yeah, before 2008, we were good, and then there's been inflation, housing market crisis, crashes in the economy.
When the bubble popped.
Yeah, when the bubble popped.
Is that COVID really fucked it over?
COVID was a problem.
It was like a Great Depression, basically.
Pretty much.
Except the stock market exploded.
Yeah, because everyone was at home.
And the banks stayed up. But the banks almost crashed in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
That was part of the house market crisis. That increased inflation a bunch.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it put us in a recession where we weren't, because inflation's not terrible. I don't know if you knew this, but we want inflation.
Yeah, no, you want to keep
Competitive.
competition.
Yeah. And that's
Inflation's good because that means that we get paid more.
and that's something that goes along with laissez-faire, which is the free market, and
Right.
that's like no socialist ideals. It's pure democracy, like pure capitalistic ideas. That is laissez-faire. Where the government has no control over the market. And yeah, the government kind of inflicts inflation with policies that they create and stuff. But that just goes into an entire thing. But we're like in creeping inflation, which is not good, which is like 4% on the dollar annually.
Yeah.
When
It just doesn't slow
it
down.
should be 1 to 2%.
Yeah.
And even 1%'s bad. Like it should be like
Like 0.5%.
0.5%.
Mhm.
Because if we,
My mom's doing laundry.
we're like, I don't know. That's why you should join debate in college.
Yeah. I don't know if my college has a debate team.
And such.
But I also just don't I'm not good at public speaking or talking.
It's like between a judge and an opponent.
Yeah, but
There's two people in that
I
room.
guess. No, it's so our government is so not good anymore. Like it's so bad. Plus, we haven't even talked about this yet. Trump is a convicted felon of 34 felonies. And I don't know how we haven't, and he's guilty on all 34 counts. And he's claiming that he's not guilty on like any of the counts, that he's not a felon, and that Biden made the courts say that he's a felon.
Wasn't his bail like a metric shit ton?
Probably.
Wasn't it like in the millions?
Usually it's high for one felony. He has 34. Count 1, guilty. Count 2, guilty. Count. Hold on, I'm saying them when they come in. Count 31, guilty. What was his bail?
It was originally 464 million and then went down to 175 million.
That's still a lot. He could pay it though. Sure, he could pay it.
The Americans paid it because they donated to.
Oh, of course. Of course. Because why wouldn't we want a convicted felon of 34 felonies to run our country? That should be another thing. If we add like an age limit to the presidents running our country, we should also put in there like, P.S. If you're a felon, you can't rule the American people. I think that's another quite important statement that should be made.
Yeah, $175 million.
$175 million.
And
I could afford that.
and all the Republicans just kind of donated to him, so he didn't pay a cent on it.
Of course. Because he's just that good of a person.
Like,
He's our shooting star.
at first, it was like small donations, and people were donating like tens of thousands of dollars just to get him
Oh
out.
my god.
I think they went over. I don't know.
So Trump made money on
He
this.
probably kept the money.
Probably. He's Trump. He's got a tower and many, many, many very nice properties that he could be at right now. instead of running.
millions.
Millions.
I hate how he says it.
Millions.
Hate it.
Dude, I hate how he says everything. Have you seen the picture of him getting a spray tan? Did I show you that? Dude, there's a picture of him on the internet of him butt naked getting like an orange spray tan that someone took, like a paparazzi took from a mirror. And it's so, I gotta show you it. It's so funny.
I'm getting my spray tan. Please shut the window.
Oh, no, we can't have either of them win. This next debate, they better get RFK in.
But we shouldn't complain. We should vote.
We should take action.
That's what Obama used to say.
Yeah.
Don't complain.
We need to
Vote.
vote out of hope. We need to vote out of hope. Specifically, in my opinion, for RFK. He'll have my vote. You need to vote out of hope that he can fix our country. Uh-oh. Jacob ASMR time.
And as we
You can't be on the side of the microphone.
read and vows to the ending of the podcast because it's
Oh yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Good conversations though.
We're going
We'll
to
talk
then.
about all of the news that comes with this.
We can't.
All of the RFK news in the next debate and everything when that happens.
We can't decide your vote.
We cannot decide your vote.
You do.
You choose who you vote for. You can
Dr.
take our opinions.
Meet Dr. Doof. Dr. Doof was conflicted. And now,
He's convicted. 34
For
felonies.
Dr. Doof is no longer with us. As he's gone.
That's how that works.
Thank you for watching the James Draedle and Joss.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully we gave you some important information to help your vote in the upcoming election. And we will, throughout our next podcast, if anything happens on the news that we feel is necessary to talk about from the point of view as of a teenager and an adult, very young adult, 18-year-old.
That landed.
Did that land? Oh my god, that landed. Can you see that on there? No, I think the mic's blocking it. Jacob just bottle flipped on my cajon and it landed. First try. Anyway, if we do have anything in future podcasts, we will talk about it. And hopefully you enjoyed hearing our points of views from young Americans who are going to be voting in the upcoming election. One of them will. Anyway, until next time, the James Draedle and Stan podcast without Stan, because that's how it tends to go. And goodbye.